Hey, do you know what today is? It's Girl Talk with Virginia. Yeah, Girl Talk with Virginia. Okay, so now we see why I'm a therapist and not a famous singer like Beyonce, right? So, welcome to Girl Talk with Virginia. We are still in the midst of the 40 days marathon, but Mondays is our original Girl Talk with Virginia show every Monday at 1 p.m. sharp. So, welcome. Glad to see you here. Or if you're watching the replay, glad to see you on the replay also. So, today we're going to talk about finding the good in bad situations. And, bad situations are inevitable. That's just life. But sometimes you have to not let those bad situations take you under and know that you can flip the bad and turn it into good. So if I was to place a glass of water in front of you and ask you, what do you see? Now, we already know this famous analogy that people use all the time: the glass is half empty or the glass is half full, right? So if you see the glass as half empty, is that totally negative? It is. It's like you automatically revert to negativity. But if you know that the cup is half empty, which means that's a bad situation, then you have to start putting strategies and guidelines and goals in place to make that cup half full, right? To turn it into a positive. So that's what we're going to dive into today, on how you could take bad situations and turn them into good. You ready for the ride? So let me tell you a little story about what happened over this weekend. My niece came over. Well, actually, she was at my oldest daughter's house. She was getting her hair done. And, the kids were running around because, they each have kids. And then we were just talking about parenting and how hard parenting is and the situations we went through with parenting, especially me, since I'm the older one and my kids are grown and their kids are just now, thriving and growing. And so I said, I cannot believe, you know, the things that I went through. I don't know how I made it, because I was a single parent with 4 kids. I was in abusive relationships. I worked, went to school, took care of my kids, had side hustles. I had a lot of things going on, not to mention worrying about taking care of kids. But I just kind of like, now that my kids are older and I'm kind of like set without having to deal with the hustle and bustle of small kids, I just sometimes have a lot of time to reflect on, how did I make it through that scenario? Because people would look at that as a bad situation. It was a tough situation for sure. But how did I make that tough situation into a good situation where I'm living at today? Well, we was talking about me going to school. So my niece said that was your escape. You were in school. You turned your bad situation of having to take care of 4 kids, single parent, all of those things, and you turned it into a good situation by going to school. Your escape was school. So you took the bad situation of being a single parent and trying to take care of 4 kids into a good situation, which was going to school and making that your outlet and looking at the good and going to school and the benefits that it will reap over the years to come. And it did reap a lot of benefits, because now I'm successful. I'm a therapist. I have 2 masters, 2 bachelors. I have a couple of state licensures. When I was in my teaching career, I got 6 teaching certifications. So in a sense, I told her, you are right. School and learning was my escape from my bad situations that I went through for my first 20, 30, 40 years, until I got to the point where I actually flipped all of that life situations, all of the things that I was going through, and flipped them into making bads. Making it good. So I flipped a lot of good bads and made them into good. So that's one suggestion. That's just my little life story. But how can you turn lemons into lemonade in your own life? How can you flip bad situations and make them into good situations? Number one, reject the negative. The thing about life is that there's always going to be negative situations, but you have to reject the ones that are not relevant to your life, that are not going to produce success, that are not going to give you the results that you need to be successful, to be prosperous. You have to reject the negative and know that, even though you're rejecting the negative, you do have to look at the lessons that are learned along the way with rejecting the negatives, because the thing is, you don't want to focus specifically on the negative. You want to know what the bad situation is, but then you want to reject it and think about how you could flip it into a good and continuing going on a stream and on an outline and on a pathway of making your bad situation into a good situation. Just throw all of the negativity out of your mind, reject it, don't own it, let it go, right? So if that's not good enough, another thing about turning bad into good are your surroundings, which leads us into number two. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Are you around positive people who are speaking good things, who are speaking, let me take this bad and turn it to a good? Are you around people who are inspirational, lifting you up, cheering you on, or cheering themselves on, or being a positive influence in their own lives? Are you around people who the words that come out of their mouth is hope and optimistic? Are you around a lot of people who dragging around and just like, oh, poor little old me, I can't get out of this situation, I'm doomed, my life is over? Are you around those type of people? If you're around those type of people, then guess what type of cup you're going to always be looking at? A cup that's half empty. But if you're around people who are positive, supportive, always pushing you to the next level, or even pushing themselves, just the whole environment of being around positive people who take pessimistic situations and look at the optimistic outcome of those situations will help you to find the good in any bad situation. And if your thoughts and hanging around positive people are not enough to flip your negativity of turning the bad into a good, well, think about you. What elements are you contributing to the whole bad situation don't have a good outlook? It all is up to you at the end of the day. You have to take control of your outcomes, because when the rejecting the negativity doesn't work, or surrounding yourself with positive people doesn't work, guess what? Then you have to go within yourself and pull out your control factors, your remote control, and you have to say, hey, these bad situations are not going to define me. They're not going to keep me confined in lack. I am trying to prosper and I'm trying to do my best. I'm trying to go from level, whatever level you're on, level 0 to 5, level 5 to 8, level 9 to 10 or 20, whatever level you are on currently, and you're trying to get to your next level, you are in control. You are the pilot of your outcomes. That was good, wasn't it? Give me some thumbs up. Give me some comments, some likes, some shares. That's good information. You are the pilot of your outcomes. You're in the driver's seat. You're in control. You can't depend on, negative ideas, thoughts never coming to you, because this life, negativity is going to come to you. You can't depend on the people around you to always be positive and supportive, but you, my dear, you are in control of the outcomes of the bad situations in your life. You are in control of turning those negative situations into good situations by what? Rejecting the negativity, finding positive people, and just pouring whatever you need into yourself to let you feel and know and think and grow in an aspect that bad situations are not forever. They're only temporary circumstances, and I will overcome, right? Oh, that's some good stuff. I will overcome. Take responsibility. It's easy. Easier said than done, right? But at the end of the day, once you start implementing some things and putting some things in place of how you're going to not look at just your cup empty and always think of the what is in the cup, the fullness of the cup, the stuff that's in the cup, as that's your positive situation, you're going to always take those lemons and turn them into lemonade. You're going to always take those bad situations and flip them into good. Because guess what? You're destined for success. You cannot let your pressures take you under, because guess what? The pressures of life mold your comeback. That's right. You're going to always have pressures. You're going to always have things that's getting in your way, obstacles. That's just life. But guess what I always tell people is that if you don't have pressures or obstacles or anything that's trying to get in your way, negativity, negative people, negative thoughts, guess what? You're not doing enough. Because anytime you're trying to get to your next level of whatever, there is always going to be resistance at the top. So the more you try to get to the top, the more resistance is coming at you. So you just have to learn how to get over those pressures, have to use those pressures of life to help shape you into a stronger person, a more perseverance person, a person that's taking those good situations, finding the good situations in those bad situations. Okay? Hey, I want you to know that Girl Talk is here for you. This is what we do. Okay? We are here to help you overcome those pressures, to turn those bad situations into positive situations so that you can keep rising to your next level. It's time to level up continuously without letting pressures keep you from your prosperity. Okay, so Girl Talk with Virginia, the 40 Days Marathon. Today is number 13 of the 40 Days Marathon. But remember, we also come on every Monday at 1 p.m. This has been Girl Talk. Be blessed. I enjoyed connecting with you today. This is all about connecting. Please like, share, rewatch, take notes. Be instrumental in your prosperity. Be the one who will make the controls and the changes that you need in your life so that you can take those bad situations and flip them into good. So, this has been Girl Talk. It's been real. I enjoyed you all today. And I want you to remember to always prosper under pressure. See you tomorrow for Girl Talk with Virginia. Do you know what today is? It's Girl Talk with Virginia. Girl Talk with Virginia. Peace.